Talking to Jack Murphy from Irishtown, who's 25 years old, and you are transitioning at the moment.
At the moment, I'm 7 months on testosterone, which is hormone replacement therapy. I go to Loughlinstown Hospital to see the doctors and to receive my prescription for my treatments and stuff. I started on testosterone gel, which was just application every day, which was a slow gradual build up, but now I'm on injections. I had my first injection 6 weeks ago, and then I had my last one, it was last week I think, and then I'm not getting my next one now for another 12 weeks, so I think they're trying to space it out for the time being and kind of see how I go with that one. But at the moment I'm 7 months in, and my voice is after dropping a hell of a lot, and my body has become more masculine, my face has become more masculine, it's kind of shaping, it's kind of gone sharper and stuff, and not only that, but I feel masculine as well, inside and outside as well, that I didn't before. I never had that kind of feeling before, and now it's starting to become me, which I never had before. The first day I actually started testosterone 7 months ago, it was like I had won the lotto. It was like the best day of my life. I couldn't have been happier. It was like someone turned around to me and said, "I'm gonna hand you €1,000,000." I would have been like,
Yeah.
"No, give me testosterone instead." So
Yeah.
it felt
Yeah.
like I won the lotto.
Yeah.
So
And what is the process of? Do you want to enlist for that, or is there much of a waiting list? And
at the moment I am on a waiting list for top surgery over here in Ireland, but at the moment the surgeons, there's only one surgeon, and I'd rather not use that surgeon because she does chest surgery, but she kind of would be more working with women who have had breast cancer and they've to get their breasts removed or whatever, and there's not much.
she wouldn't have much experience in your eyes of
yeah.
yeah.
So people have gone away to get it done in better places, like for example like Belgium or Poland or places like that, where I've seen much better results, because it's my chest and I'm going to have it for the rest of my life, so I don't want to have a botched job, really.
Yeah, yeah. So would you kind of say that Ireland is kind of only talking about this kind of thing now, and transgender and stuff, and we have been a bit in the dark ages over the years.
Yeah, that is it. I mean, with the recent passing of the marriage equality bill, the whole kind of transgender thing is coming out now, that people are saying, oh well, these people need rights, these people need this, so it's kind of become more in the spotlight than it was before. It's not as much of a taboo as it was before, being gay or being transgender, and it's becoming more accepted. Some people still won't accept it, but there's still people out there, the majority will accept it. But I think now the gender recognition bill passed not long ago, which people are very happy about. I'm happy about it because that means that I can change my gender on my passport. And I can change my gender on my birth cert and stuff like that. When before I could have changed my name, but I couldn't have changed my gender on passport or birth cert. So
yeah, and say publicly, obviously there's been a lot of support with the marriage referendum and things like that. How would you say? Would you say, if I've been in jobs, have they been supportive? Have you encountered any difficulty in say work or?
Well, my last job, I was working in a shop, and I was kind of afraid to come out as Jack, really, because I didn't really know how they would have taken it, because, some people just won't take to it, so I just kind of kept it in, and I just kind of kept to myself, and, didn't say much about being transgender or anything like that. I mentioned it a few times, but it was kind of taken kind of lightly or whatever. It wasn't like, oh yeah, just messing or whatever, but now the job I'm in now, they couldn't be more accepting of me. They go out their way to make me feel comfortable, and they couldn't be nicer to me. I said to them, would it be okay if I used the men's toilets? And they were like, That's no problem at all. If someone in the men's toilets had a problem with you using the men's toilets, they can use the disabled toilets.
Yeah.
So they're really understanding.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
And what about personally, say within your family and among friends?
Yeah.
Did you encounter any problems, or was it just hard?
Yeah. Well, my family are great. Like, my friends are great. My girlfriend is great. Like, everybody is just really understanding, you know. Given, I suppose, the area I live in, there will be people that are a bit, you know, old-fashioned, or even down to the younger kids. They wouldn't be as accepting as other people would be. But all around in the area I live in is fine. But in town, you might get a bit of people kind of, you know, giving you a hard time, or, you know, calling you a dyke, or calling you a lesbian, or, you know, people that just don't understand, really.
Yeah.
You know,
And do you feel that's where it comes from? They just don't understand?
Yeah, I feel they just don't understand. Like, I just think maybe it was the way they were brought up, maybe it was the way they are, I don't know, maybe it's the people they're around, but I don't know, there's some people I just think it's maybe they just don't understand, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And what about hostility? Have you come across that on, say, online or in the street, or?
Yeah, well, I did get a good bit of bullying, like, after the newspaper article that I did, but that was the worst I think I've ever had, was probably after the newspaper article. I've never had much before that, not as bad before that. I did get a bit of bullying, but it wasn't as bad. But
Was it online, the bullying before? Yeah.
Yeah, it was online. It was all through Facebook, or through Twitter, or through stuff like that. It was all kind of social media, and that people were kind of getting on to me and kind of, you know, giving me a hard time basically about it.
Yeah. And was it people that knew you, or strangers, or both?
Well, it was some people that knew me, and it was a mix of both actually. It was strangers and people that knew me. So
going back, I mean, growing up, what was that like for you?
I was never a girly girl. I was always tomboyish or whatever. You know, I always knew in my heart that I wasn't right. I knew there was something that, you know, I remember at the age of 5, I remember trying to go to the toilet, facing the toilet.
Right.
I knew this wasn't right for me. I knew I wasn't in the right body, so to speak. But as a 5-year-old, I know you're a kid, like, you don't know much. But just all through growing up, like, I felt there was something not right with me. Like, I've had anxiety problems and all that, and I can now know that it was down to being me suppressing, you know, the fact that I'm transgender or whatever, and not knowing how to deal with it, and not knowing how to kind of communicate with people and tell them how I felt or whatever, you know.
So, say you came to, say, 5 years of age, and you thought, no, something's not right here, and you went through all that period of anxiety.
Yeah.
Did you ever think at one stage, maybe it's just anxiety, maybe it's just teenage depression, maybe it's teenage angst, or did you ever think that, or?
Well, I was 12 years old when I had my first really bad kind of panic attack, which is what sparked the whole. I had years of anxiety. Up until this day, I still have anxiety, but it's never as bad as I was before. But thinking back now, I'd be anxious to leave my sitting room. I'd be anxious to leave my kitchen just to go outside, to go around the corner to the shop. I just couldn't. Thinking back then, I was like, what is wrong with me? I feel crazy. I feel like I'm an alien. I didn't know what was going on with me. I was like, am I ever going to be better? And thinking back now, it all makes sense as to why I felt that way, really.
And when you were going through the anxiety and, you know, that panic, did you confide in a family member, a doctor, or?
Well, yeah, like, I became very close to my mum, like, because she kind of became my safety blanket. I did go to the doctor, and the doctor, you know, said, you know, well, there's medication, we can put you on, whatever. So happily enough, I went on medication, because if I thought, you know, this is going to make me better. I tried everything. I tried homeopathy. I tried everything. I tried everything, but it just wasn't doing the trick. Like, there was just something inside me that just was just bursting to get out of me, and it was like it was trying to, like, you know, just urge its way out of me, and I just couldn't. I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Anytime I'd have a panic attack, it was like something was trying to come up out of me, and I just couldn't. I couldn't know the difference between a panic attack and, you know, not. I just didn't know what was going on. Like.
Yeah, yeah. And so, what would you say the age was when you realised maybe I'm not wording it right, I'm in the wrong body, or was
yeah.
there a pinnacle moment that you just kind of said, that's what it is?
Yeah. Well, I try at the age of I think it was 17 or 18. I attended a hypnotist, and we did a few bits and pieces on my childhood and stuff like that, and there was a moment then when I was like, wow, hold on, we're onto something here, like, where she'd make you relax and you'd have to talk about your childhood. And there was a moment where I was like, hold on a second, there has been something that has been inside me, and I can't, and I was realising it slowly, and it took me up to the age of 19 to finally turn around and say, listen, I thought I was a gay woman, but I am a male. I'm male on the inside, and it needs to come out. So that's when I came out to my parents. I was 19, and I said, listen, I'm transgender, like, this is me, like, this is just me, like.
Yeah, fantastic. And say, even obviously that was a very, very hard time, very not an easy thing to do. If you had any advice, say, to give to people in your situation, anyone in your situation, what would you tell, say, if a friend came and said, listen, I think I'm experiencing what you went through, what advice could you give them?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd say wait until you're ready to say it, because if you're not ready to say it, you're just going to cause yourself, like, hurt, because, you don't know, the situation could be different. Like, luckily I'm in a good situation where my family are understanding, my friends are understanding, but I would say wait until you're ready. It doesn't matter about if anybody else is ready, wait until you're ready, and when you're ready to say it, you just say it, and you need to get it out, because the longer you hold it in, the longer you're going to just kind of make more problems for yourself. So just when you're ready, you say it. And
could you suggest, say, any supports? Would you suggest, say, if someone didn't have a supportive family or friends like you, is there any other outlet there?
There's loads of places. There's TENI, the Transgender Equality Network of Ireland. They have a helpline, they have meetings that you can go to. There's Belong To if you're younger. They have, I think the ages go up to 25, I think, as far as I know. They have support groups. There's so many places. Belong To is in, I think it's Capel Street. They have websites, they have Facebook and stuff like that. Belong To would be the best place to go, and they would be able to help you from there. Whether you feel transgender, whether you're gay, and like that, they would help you in whatever situation you're in.
Yeah, that's great. What was your name before?
It was Rebecca.
How do you feel when you hear that name? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Does it make you feel angry?
It kind of doesn't have an effect on me anymore. It kind of just doesn't, because I don't relate with it anymore. I've been living as Jack for nearly a year and a half now, fully, and when I hear it, sometimes I'm like, oh, it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I don't relate to it. I don't say, oh, that was me. I just kind of think, oh yeah, that's a nice name.
Yeah. And if someone was to call you Rebecca, say, force habit, how would you react to that?
It still happens to this day. Like, if I'm around where I live or whatever, like some people who don't know, or some people who would slip up by accident. It's a little bit annoying, but like at the same time, I'm a very kind of calm person. I wouldn't get angry really easily. I just think, oh, they just either they don't understand, they're not used to it, or they don't know about it. So I kind of just get on with it, really.
You recently got engaged.
I did get engaged.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us if you want to tell us about the proposal, or if that's top secret.
No,
we understand. It's okay.
It's a funny story, really. We have a daughter together, me and Victoria, and Victoria was sitting on the bed, and it was her birthday, and I gave her all her presents. And the baby Zoe was sitting on the bed, and she was having a play or whatever, and she was messing around. And I had written at the end of, I had gotten a card from Zoe, and I put at the end of it, will you marry my daddy? And I wrote at the end of mine, will you marry me? Just in case she picked up one and didn't see the other, kind of thing. I had gotten her a card saying to my fiance, but she always used to call me her husband anyway, so she didn't really take any notice to it. And then she looked down at the bottom of the card, and she was like, oh. And when she looked up, I was down on one knee, kind of like proposing. So while this is happening, the 2-year-old or the 3-year-old she was at the time she was still potty training, was running around saying, "I need to do my poo," and I was like, "Oh God."
So romantic,
Yeah,
romantic. Yeah, yeah.
And so she was running in between us, and then she pooed herself in her pants, and I was like, "Do you want me to stop?" And she was like, "No, it's fine. Keep going. Whatever you're saying." Like, and so then I had a little speech that I kind of said, you know, "I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you," and all the rest. And then she said yes. So
Great.
yeah.
So what's the plans for the future, say, with your new family?
We're hoping to get married in the next few years, and obviously I'm gonna adopt Zoe as my own, like as my daughter, like so, like she calls me dad and stuff now, like, you know, and
Yeah.
we just gel really well. Like we're just a little family, like a little unit.
You're trying to get funds for your top surgery. What is your target?
Well, ideally it's 7 grand,
Okay.
but I know that's a big ask or whatever, for donations or whatever. But hopefully, if my story gets out there and, you know, people see my GoFundMe link, you know, they'll donate or whatever, and all those people will see it, and all the donations will get together, and I will reach my target.
Yeah.
At the moment, I've raised €125, which is amazing, and that's just from friends and family that have donated, and I'm really, like, I'm surprised because I wasn't expecting anybody to donate really. But I suppose it's helped the fact that I've kind of been doing the videos and people have been seeing, you know, my story and seeing me and stuff. And
Any further surgeries planned, or?
oh yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
completely open with that. Yeah,
Right.
I'm hoping to get chest surgery. Obviously. After that, I know that's going to be expensive, but I have a job now, so I'll be able to kind of save money myself. I will be going for bottom surgery
Yeah. Yeah.
in the future.